Hey guys, and welcome back to Crouton Cracker Jacks. Today, I'm going to show you how to make a delicious ham and cheese omelet. Now, a lot of people are intimidated by omelets. You don't need to be. They're super easy to make. They're super quick, but there are a few tips and tricks that you need to know along the way, and I will show you everything that you need to know how to make a perfect omelet at home, just like you'd get in a restaurant. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, because I'm doing a ham and cheese omelet, obviously I'm going to need some ham. So I've got just a few pieces of ham here, and I'm going to chop this up into a rough dice. This happens to be a ham steak. You can buy this pre-chopped if you want to and use that. If you don't like ham, you can use whatever ingredients that you want, even vegetables. If you want bacon, sausage, whatever you want, go ahead and use what you like. I like ham and cheese, so that's what I'm using here. I'm just going to get that chopped up and set that off to the side. Now for my eggs, I've got 3 large eggs here, and I'm going to crack those into a bowl. Now I like using 3 eggs because I like 3 egg omelets. If you want a smaller portion, by all means feel free to use just 2 eggs. Or if you want a giant omelet, feel free to use half a dozen eggs. But 3 eggs is usually traditional for an omelet, so that's what I'm using here. And to my eggs, I'm going to add in about a tablespoon or so of water. And using a fork, I'm just going to whisk this together. Now the water is going to help break down the white and the yolk and make it a more cohesive mixture. If you don't want to add water, you don't have to. But whatever you do, do not add milk. Milk in eggs, it just makes the finished eggs weepy and it makes a mess. So don't use milk in this. Use water or nothing. If you would like to season your eggs, right now is the time to season them. Because I'm using ham, which is quite salty, I'm not going to season here. So just go ahead and get those eggs nicely mixed and then set those off to the side and we can start working or preheating our pan. Now here I have an 8-inch fry pan, which is the perfect size for a 3-egg omelet. I have that over medium-high heat. I'm going to add in about a teaspoon or so of vegetable oil, as well as just a single pat of butter. The butter is going to prevent the eggs from sticking. The oil is what prevents the butter from burning. So you need a combination of both. If you want to use olive oil or coconut oil, by all means go ahead. I just have vegetable oil handy, so that's what I'm using. But you need to make sure that your pan gets really, really hot. And the way that you know it gets hot is the butter solids start to brown. So once those butter solids have turned nicely golden brown, you can start slowly adding in your eggs. Now notice how slowly I'm pouring these in. You don't want to add them all in at once because you're going to splash hot oil everywhere, but also you're going to cool down that pan, and you want that pan to remain hot. So just slowly pour your eggs in. And you can see here, I'm going to go in real time and explain this, so you know how quickly these make or how quickly these get made. But you can see how hot this pan is because that egg sizzles right away, right when it hits that pan. As this cooks, what you want to do is use a spatula and you want to kind of slowly push the cooked egg off to the side and let the liquid egg that's on top run underneath of the part that's cooked. Basically what you're going to do is you want all the egg to get cooked before you flip this. I know a lot of people don't flip their omelets. I have a problem with that because then you end up getting snotty eggs in the middle, and that freaks me out. So as this cooks, like I said, just slowly lift up and push off to the side the cooked egg and let that liquid egg slide underneath. Basically what you're doing here is making several sheets of egg that kind of get glued together, and that way all of your egg gets cooked well. And you want to keep doing this until you no longer have any pools of liquid egg on the top. You can see here it's pretty much done. All you have is just that little bit left. Now is the time that you want to make sure that those eggs don't stick or haven't stuck to your pan. As you can see here, they have not for me. And we're going to turn and flip this. You want to turn off the heat because there's enough residual heat here in the pan. You don't need to continue cooking because you don't want tough and rubbery eggs. And I'm going to go ahead and flip this. Now this turns into a disaster for me because this wasn't quite cooked all the way or cooked enough for me. If this happens to you, just roll with it. Use your spatula, kind of get it, finesse it into the pan. After everything's all said and done, no one's going to know any difference because everything's going to be covered in cheese. But now is the time that you want to fill your omelet. Because I'm doing ham and cheese, I'm going to add some cheese. I'm using sharp cheddar here. If you want to use mild cheddar, that's fine. And I'm also going to add in some of my ham pieces. Now, I didn't cook this ham, and this ham has not been warmed up. The heat of the eggs is going to melt that cheese and warm up that ham. And I like tri-fold omelets, so I'm going to fold just one side over a third of the way. on top of the ham and the cheese. That way I can fold it out onto the plate and I have a tri-fold omelet. So I've got my serving platter here, and I've already gone ahead and made up some hash browns, diner-style hash browns. I don't have a video on how to make those. If you want to see how I make them, go ahead and leave me a comment down below. But just gently holding that part of the omelet that I've folded over previously, I'm just going to roll the omelet out onto my serving platter. Now you can see here it broke on me. It's no big deal. It happens to the best of us, so just kind of roll with it. You can hide that break with some more cheese, which is exactly what I'm doing here. You want to top your omelet with a little bit more cheese and some more ham, so that way you know that it is a ham and cheese omelet. And just go ahead and give this a minute or so for the eggs to fully set up. Let the heat from the eggs melt the cheese that's on top, and then you can go ahead and serve this up. If you guys have any questions about the omelet, hopefully I explained this as best as I could. If you have any questions about it, leave me a comment down below. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it. Subscribe for more deliciousness and to keep up to date with all my latest videos. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.